Many WWE stars are notorious for having many relationships, but some have managed to keep one partner throughout their whole career. Wrestling is a hard business for many stars when it comes to juggling their families as well as life on the road. Despite this, there are still a number of current and former wrestlers who have been loyal to their partners throughout their time with the company. There are new WWE couples being reviewed every day, but there aren't many stars left celebrating lengthy anniversaries since switching partners have become much more common than keeping the same partner throughout their entire career. This video looks at just 10 superstars who were able to remain with the same partner throughout their WWE career. I've already covered a topic on pro wrestling relationships with uncomfortable age gaps, so check it out if you haven't done so right after this video. Number 1. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has been one of the most outspoken superstars in the company ever since he made his way to WWE.
And that's Shane McMahon! Now I've sat back and tried to be a good guy!
That is following a successful stint on the independent circuit. Even though Owens is another superstar who is often on the road for more than 300 days a year and is surrounded by some of the most beautiful women in the world, he is completely besotted with his wife Karina Steen, something that he regularly shares on his social media pages. Owens and his wife met when he was still struggling on the independent circuit, and he even commented that his wife loved him when he had nothing, and that is why the duo has such a strong bond now. To all the appreciating guys out there, well done. You may not know this, but you are making the world a better place for us all. Now the couple have 2 children together, a son called Owen, who is named after Owen Hart, and has been mentioned in a number of Kevin's promos on the main roster. He also has a daughter called Elodie, who he has posted a number of images of online. Karina and Kevin have been married now for more than a decade and have even matching tattoos together which says Beauty and Beast. Owen's tattoo is visible during promos on his left hand. Number 2. Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy has been lighting up the wrestling world ever since the 1990s when he was just a teenager. It was after the Hardy's Tag Team Championship win back in '99 that Hardy met his wife, Beth Britt. The couple met while he was out celebrating the win, and it appears that Hardy has been besotted ever since. Even though the couple have been together for almost 2 decades, they didn't decide to tie the knot until 2011, which could be because of Hardy's busy lifestyle, or the fact that the former world champion has had his own fair share of personal issues in recent years, which I'm quite sure most of us are all aware of. The couple welcomed their first daughter Ruby back in 2010, before announcing their second baby called Nera the following year. Jeff's wife and daughters have got him through a number of problems throughout his career, so he knows that he can always count on their support. Number 3. Roman Reigns. Now this may come as a shock to most of us. That is because of the fame we all know Roman Reigns has garnered over the years. But Roman Reigns have been a subject of a lot of negativity throughout his career. But the current undisputed Universal Champion has never been part of any kind of scandal in his private life, unlike many other former WWE stars. Reigns met his wife Galina Becker when he was in college, and it appears that the couple hit it off and welcomed a daughter called Joelle not long afterward. Reigns came to WWE as a father and a man with family values, and he has managed to uphold them throughout his career. This is truly amazing, since he and his wife didn't marry until Reigns was on the main roster back in 2014. There are scandals in WWE all the time, and one of these hit Roman Reigns' former teammate Seth Rollins back in 2015. This was when nude photos of a WWE developmental talent, Zara Sheba, were posted on his hacked Twitter and Instagram account. Don't look forward to it because I'm not bringing those pictures on here though. Haha, got you. Rollins was then engaged to Layla Shaws, who also posted nude photos of her husband-to-be all over social media out of retaliation. Anyway, that's another story for another day. However, Reigns himself has been able to stay away from anything that could hinder his career or hurt the people he cares about the most. After their marriage, the couple have welcomed twins. Family means everything in the Samoan community, and it's obvious that Roman Reigns values his family highly and has done everything in his career over the past few years to ensure that they are kept out of the negativity he has been receiving. Number 4. Natalya. Natalya's story is definitely one of the cutest. She and her husband TJ Wilson, who is also known as Tyson Kidd, met when they were just teenagers, and she has never been in a relationship with anyone else. It appears that the couple have grown up together, trained together, and even worked together in WWE for a time. Natalya and TJ were both trained in the Hart family dungeon, where she is the only female graduate. Now check this out. The couple met each other back in 1994 when Natalya was just 12 years old. They started dating in 2001 when she was 19 years old, and finally married in 2013 after more than 12 years together. Amazing. Natalya and Tyson have been featured on Total Divas over the past 7 seasons, but after Tyson Kidd suffered the career-ending injury, he was taken off the show and has since been given a backstage role in WWE. Natalya has continued to appear as part of the show on her own, but TJ is often featured when the couple is together. It's obvious Natalya has been raised with an old-school mentality, and it appears that, unlike the other women in the company, there is only one man who turns her head, which is why she makes such a good role model for the next generation of female wrestlers. Number 5. Kofi Kingston. Kofi is part of the New Day alongside Big E and Woods. They are the second longest reigning tag team champions in the history of the company. The group set the record back in 2016 in December with 483 days to their credit. Even though Kingston has been in the spotlight for more than a decade and on the road for a lengthy amount of time, he has always remained loyal to his wife Corey Campbell. The couple married back in 2010. They have since welcomed 2 sons and a daughter named Lotus Celine Sarkodie-Mensah, who was born on November 23, 2021. The oldest son is called Key Sarkodie-Mensah. He was born in 2013, and his youngest son is called Orion Kingsley Sarkodie-Mensah, who was born back in 2016. Kofi is a very hands-on father and has shared a number of cute images of him with his children online over the past few years. Kofi sometimes makes jokes about being a father whilst he's having fun as part of the New Day, but he is one of the most loyal husbands in WWE currently, especially given the way that relationships usually work out in the wrestling world. Number 6. AJ Styles. AJ Styles has been part of the wrestling business for more than 2 decades and has been able to juggle a family life as well. Styles married his wife Wendy Jones 22 years ago, and the couple has since welcomed 4 children, 3 boys and a girl. The phenomenal one has also ensured that all of his children have the initials AJ, and he has their date of birth tattooed on his stomach. Despite wrestling always being a huge thing in AJ's life, he has made sure that his family always come first. There was a time when AJ Styles was offered a contract with WWE back in 2002, but because that would involve relocating, and his wife was still in college studying to be a teacher, he turned down his dream job. He then worked for Impact Wrestling for more than a decade before WWE came knocking again, and this time, he was able to accept their offer. Styles ensures that what little time he has away from the company is always spent with his wife and children, since he has made so many milestones in their lives because of the high-profile career that he chose. Number 7. Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash will be best remembered for his time as part of the Clique in WWE, a team where Nash definitely stood out. Nash wasn't as affected as many other stars throughout the 90s when it came to their own issues outside of the ring, and this could be because the WWE Hall of Famer always had the support of his family. Nash and his wife Tamara McMichael have been happily married now for more than 3 decades. After first saying their vows on 29 October 1988. He's been married longer than most of my viewers watching this video right now. No offense though. Shouts to my young homies and old folks. Nash and Tamara also have a son called Tristan, who was born in 1996, but unfortunately at the age of 26, Tristan died on 20th October 2022, and he is their only child. Very sad. He was a poet and a musician, and most recently worked with his father on a new podcast venture. The couple have remained very private about their personal life throughout his career, and it appears that Nash always kept his wife away from his in-ring career, which was probably the best thing for him to do at that time. Nash hid his wife from the company so well that he even joked at his Hall of Fame induction ceremony that many of his closest friends actually thought he was lying about having a wife because they never met her. That's incredible. Number 8. Trish Stratus. Trish is one of the most decorated female wrestlers of all time. But whilst the former women's champion was seen as one of the most beautiful women on TV at that time, she only had eyes for one man and one man only. Stratus retired from the company back in September 2006 as a record-setting 7-time women's champion. This happened just weeks before she finally married her boyfriend of 14 years and her high school sweetheart, Ron Fisico. Trish and Ron first started dating in 1992, and Stratus remained loyal to her boyfriend throughout her wrestling career before she decided to leave the ring behind and start her own family after more than 6 years at the top of WWE Women's Division. Wow, that's some love right there. Stratus announced at a Hall of Fame induction ceremony in 2013 that she was expecting her first child, a son whom she called Maximus. Trish and Ron welcomed their second child in 2017, a daughter called Madison. She doubles as a mother and the owner of her own yoga studio. Number 9. Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is a superstar who has inspired so many current WWE stars to lace up their wrestling boots throughout his over 3-decade-long career. Impressive. Mysterio made his wrestling debut in 1989 and joined WWE in 1996, the same year that he married his wife Angie. Angie and Rey Mysterio have been happily married for more than 2 decades and have welcomed 2 children in that time. A son called Dominic, who was born in 1997. Yeah, the one fighting his own father now. And a daughter called Alia, who was also born back in 2001. Mysterio left the company in 2015 to spend more time with his family in Mexico after more than 13 years. During that time, he trained his son for a career in the wrestling business whilst he was away from the company. Rey has always been a hands-on father who has supported his family despite his hectic career. Number 10. Mick Foley. Mick Foley never risked his relationship with his wife, Colette, despite being part of the company at a time when many of the stars were straying from their partners. Foley and his wife married back in 1992 and have since welcomed 4 children, including Noel, who works for WWE on their YouTube channel occasionally, and Dewey, who currently works for the company as a creative writer. Despite being surrounded by a locker room of some of the most attractive women in the world, Foley has never wanted to stray away from his partner, whom he has been with now for 3 decades. Foley and Colette have an envious relationship and still seem genuinely happy after so long together, which makes Foley much more than just a role model to his growing fan base. Foley is one of the few wrestlers who learned to juggle success alongside his family life and has been able to return to his happy brood since his retirement. This marks the end of our list. If you know of any I didn't mention, be sure to drop it in the comment section. Until next time, see you.